All right, I'm working on painting one of my first, or this is actually my first Warhammer figurine. Don't know if you can really see it here, but I already got a lot of it done. I've been painting it for probably 10 hours already, and I'm really slow. There's a bunch of parts that I still need to go back and touch up, but right now I just got some new paint. It's a Citadel contrast paint called Black Legion. I don't know if you can see that there, but I'm gonna be using this for painting the gun. And I also have the the sword that I broke off by accident earlier when I was trying to paint. I'm gonna be gluing that back on and trying to paint that as well with this Citadel paint to see what it looks like. So let's see how that goes. I don't think you have to mix this with water. So we can start painting. Get this open up. All right. Trying to decide which paintbrush I want to use. Something small. 03 round. Maybe we'll try that first. All right, let's take a look. Let's see how this goes. Oh man, that's really black. Black, black, black. Actually, let me get my light over here. Up and around. This is different. It looks like you can coat quite a bit with just a little bit of paint, which is pretty crazy. I'm using a 3/0 sized paintbrush. Only dipped it in once, and it looks like I still have plenty of paint left over. Usually with the small of a paintbrush, I'm having to keep on redipping it over and over again. So this is a different experience than the experience so far. I think I'm liking it. Let's see what it looks like after I'm done. Oh man, I always breathe right onto this magnifying glass and steam it up. Got these old eyes, gotta have a magnifying glass to see these tiny little guys. When I first got Warhammer figurines, I was just surprised how tiny they were. I didn't think it was even possible to paint them. But it's not too bad if you take your time. Also, I have pretty unsteady hands, so it makes it a little bit harder, but still, it's doable. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever painted one of these, so I'm sure I'll be making a lot of mistakes, but it's been a lot of fun so far. But it's also taking me forever. I've been painting this at legit maybe 10 hours. I'm not done yet, so a lot of time goes into these. It seems like seeing people with huge armies is just insane. I can't even imagine how much time they invested into these. And I was wondering why these were so expensive, but it sort of makes sense now, considering that one figurine can last you for days. And I think I have like 9 of these to paint, and that's not even including the orcs that I still need to paint as well. I think I'm gonna have to get a smaller brush to paint the rest of this. I don't want to accidentally go over anything that I already painted. Man, I'm really liking this though. It gets right down into those crevices so easily. That's usually where I spend most of my time, trying to go back over and get into these small areas. Wow. It's really a much better experience. So I saw something called slap drop that I want to try next. So I'm going to compare what I did this time, which is, I think is just the traditional way of painting, to slap drop to see if it actually looks better and if it's quicker. I should have actually timed out exactly how long this took, so I have a better idea. So I can compare the two methods, but that might be something I'll do next. So let's see if we can find a smaller brush to use. Some last little parts on this. 4/0 round. I don't know if I want to do round or if I want to do a straight or linear. Let's see. Linear 1. Round. So here. Linear. I wonder if a linear brush would be able to really hold enough of this paint, the contrast paint, or not. We'll have to find out. All right, let's give this a try. Maybe not. So the linear brush is really nice when you're painting with like your regular paints, your acrylic paint, because you can dip it and get a tiny bit of acrylic on there, but with this contrast paint, it just doesn't seem like it really holds any of that paint in there. So I'm probably going to use the round instead of the linear. So we'll go to the 4/0 round. So a slap trap, I assume you have to be able to see some of the paints that are underneath, because you spray paint it black, then go over it with the gray dry brush. But it seems like this just covers up all the dry brushing that you do. So if you're going to be dry brushing, you might not want to use the Black Legion contrast. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong. To me, it just seems like it covers everything up underneath it. I'm sure it's good for some things, like with what I'm doing here. I made some mistakes, so there's a little bit of red paint where I didn't want it, so I wanted to go over it. So it works well for that, but for slap chop method, I don't know if it would work very well. And if anybody actually watches this video eventually and they have any advice, I'd really appreciate it. You can't really see what I'm doing, so I don't know how much advice you could give, but anything would help. Yeah, it might actually. Huh. So it doesn't seem like it covers up too well. Like I said, I made some mistakes. There's some black left over. And it doesn't look like it's actually covering it. I might dip this directly into here instead of pulling off my wet palette to see if I can get some more ink in this or paint in this brush. If that would help. If not, I'll go back over with acrylic paint with black just to cover up those mistakes I made earlier. I'm sure I'm going to be making more before this is done. Okay, maybe it just took going back and dipping directly into the inkwell or the paint, because this is looking a lot better. The linear brush might actually work if I would have dipped it directly into the bottle instead of going and trying to use what I had left over. Man, that is so cool. Man. So I like this magnifying glass, but if there's any depth, like if I'm trying to paint parts that are further towards the background, I can't get it too close to the magnifying glass. It doesn't really help. It'll be cool too once I'm done with this, since I did use acrylic black on the shoulder plate and the hands and stuff. and then this new contrast paint on the gun, you can see it right next to each other. So I'll be able to see exactly what the differences are. Okay, I still have some more to do on this. Over here. This is a little hard to do. Some more paint on this. I don't know if you have to shake this up before you use it or not. Alright. I'm gonna do it. Doesn't seem like it'll hurt. Seems a little messier. I think this is the first time I've gotten paint on myself. I'm guessing just because the viscosity of this paint, it makes it so it just flows everywhere, not only on the cracks in your part, but also all over your hands. All right, let's see here. I wanted to get back over here. Man, this is awkward. I think the next time I paint, I might try to get a lot of the painting done before I build the character. Because for this time, I actually just, I might as well leave that open. But I glued everything together before I started painting. And for most of it is okay, but like for the area, I don't know if you can see him, but this guy has like a coat on, like a trench coat, and between his legs, like back in the back inside of the coat, it was really hard to get to. The backlight, you can't really see this as much. Maybe I'll show it or take pictures and show you guys later, but I kept on trying to paint that back of that coat and then touching the legs and just getting paint everywhere. It wasn't fun. And one of my friends actually started getting into painting these as well. And he said that he painted most of his parts while it was still, before he even clipped them off, of, I don't know what that thing is called, but the plastic like palette that it's on, which is interesting. Way to do it, I didn't even think of painting it like that. I'm sure everybody has a bunch of different methods that they use. Keep on trying to use that and can't really. I need to start eating more carrots or something. I suck. I think it might be just about as good as I'm gonna get. I'm gonna have to come back through and touch up some of these spots. So I painted one of the skulls in this gun gold, and the other side I'm gonna do red. I do have contrast red. Maybe I'll try that on this skull on the side. And also the target, or I don't really know what it would be. Like the rectangle thing on the gun. Obviously, I don't really have any idea when it comes to guns what the parts are, but the topmost part that you look, or the sight, I guess. There we go. I think that's what it is. I need a little more of this paint. this. Especially if your hands are unsteady and you're using this paint, you don't have to get as close to the edges. So it's sort of, you get close enough and then it seeps down into the crack without you having to go in there and actually brush up against the parts that you already painted. So it's pretty cool. I like it. Like it a lot. Look at it a lot. All right, now I'll wash my brush off, and I might try to touch up this red skull. See how that goes. And then I'll probably call it a night. And tomorrow I'll glue the sword back onto my character, because I was using it for leverage because my hands were so shaky, and I broke it right off. So keep that in mind when you're painting your character, that you don't lean your entire body weight on one of the parts, because they are plastic. I'm excited to try that slap drop method. I really hope that it works well, and I can get a character painted a little quicker this time. So that was, again, the contrast paint from Citadel called Black Legion. And now I have one from Vallejo, an express color red from them. This seems like you don't dip it in, because the other one was like almost like an inkwell, and then this is what I'm used to, a little bit more. Ooh, that's like blood red, man. That's pretty cool. Man, all right. So I might try the linear brush again to see if it actually works with this one. Like I said before, I probably need to just dip the paintbrush directly into the inkwell last time, because I did not have much. On my wet palette. So the part I'm painting is pretty small. I think I might have put too much paint in, because I can't even see any of the recesses on the skull. So just dry off a brush and try to cut back on some of the paint that I just globbed on there. There we go. That's getting better. So maybe if you're using contrast paints, if you're painting something really small, you don't want to just glab the paint on there. It's probably pretty obvious, but I'll get some paint on here. Dry this brush off a little bit, and we'll try to go back at it. Oh man, I like that. That red almost seems like metallic red. It's cool. So the skull is almost black and red that I have on there. I think I like it. I might just leave it, because it gives it almost more metallic sheen to it. Yeah, I like it. We'll leave it. I think I got a brown too that I ordered, a contrast paint from Citadel, so I'm gonna try that out. Some of the bag parts that I'm using, which would be nice because that took me forever. I thought I was almost done, and I realized I forgot to paint all the straps on that bag, and I went through and did quite a hack job. Got a lot of stuff I need to go back and touch up still, but I guess that's just all part of it. So I'll probably take some pictures so you can actually see this, but let me wash off this brush a little bit better. I'm about to call it a night, but let's see here. Let's see if we can actually show you the gun on this thing now. Let's see if we can get close enough. Oh, that doesn't help. I'm trying to focus in and I have my hand right in the way. Okay, there we go. So there's the gun. I think it looks pretty cool. Here's the side with the red. You can see the skull there. Maybe. There we go. So it looks more like a metallic red than the red that I have on here for the rest of the coat. So I think it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna finish this hopefully up tomorrow, or at least the sword, and then go back through and touch up stuff, because like I said, I got a lot of touching up to do, but it's pretty fun so far, and I'm excited to start learning more. All right, thanks guys. See ya.